You just picked a new Panasonic LUMIX S5 II or one of the other flagship cameras that uses this battery, the Panasonic BLK22 battery, and you might find yourself in a position, I need to find more batteries. So the question is, do you buy more original OEM LUMIX batteries, or do you buy a kit by a non-OEM, Wasabi Power, that's going to come with 2 batteries and a charger? In this video, let's take a look at whether you should go for this or that. Let's go. So I am recording right now on a Panasonic. I have a Sony here, I have a Sony behind me, but I'm recording on a Panasonic S5 II, the latest camera that we did purchase. And while the battery life is generally good, if you're a video creator, you will need extra batteries. And typically, I like to keep 3 to 4 spare batteries for each camera that we use, as that should last you an entire day when you're recording. On a typical battery, on the original LUMIX battery, I'm getting about an hour and a half to an hour 40 of record time, slightly better than on the FZ100 batteries and my Sony cameras. However, if I'm going out to record for 5 to 6 to 7 hours, I generally need extra batteries. Now, unlike in the Sony world or the Canon world, when it comes to LUMIX batteries, and particularly for the BLK22, you don't actually have a lot of choices. Fortunately, when I picked up the camera, Wasabi Power, one of my favorite brands, and I've been using their batteries for the Sony X batteries, I've used them for the Sony FZ50 batteries, and the Sony FZ100 batteries. They also made chargers and batteries for the Panasonic LUMIX BLK22s. So which one should you go for? And I think the starting point that you need to ask yourself is, do you already have a charger for your LUMIX? Now, my understanding is some of the original cameras did come with battery chargers, and in that case, then basically you might not necessarily need to buy a separate charger. Now, if you don't already have a charger, you can charge your battery, but you got to put the battery into the camera and plug in the USB-C cable in order to charge the battery on the camera. This, in my opinion, causes 2 issues. Number one, you're causing extra wear and tear on the port itself, and I'd rather replace a charger than replace a port on the camera. And number 2, it causes more heat inside the camera to build up as it's running through the circuitry versus charging on a charger. And if something potentially does go wrong, I'd rather it happen on the charger than happen to the camera itself. So in that regard, I'd rather be charging off camera rather than inside the camera, which is what the manufacturers kind of expect you to do, because most manufacturers no longer ship the cameras with an external chargers. So when it comes to that, if you're starting out and you don't have if you're buying an S5 II or an S5 IIX and it doesn't come with a charger, I would recommend going with the kit such as this, which is going to come with a charger. Now, the cool part about one of these chargers is that it is also going to be able to charge LUMIX brand batteries and if there's other OEM, as long as it's a BLK22 battery, you'll be able to charge it on here. It doesn't have to be a Wasabi brand power battery. So that's number one. The charger itself, what I like about this versus some of the other Wasabi products that I had in the past, was that this has 2 ports, USB-C and micro USB, so you can charge it with whichever cable you had. It's still not as nice as what SmallRig has for Sony's, which has an integrated cable inside, so you're never without a cable, but at least this way, if you're traveling, almost anybody's going to have either a micro USB or a USB-C. So that's definitely going to be for the win. The charger itself is going to be fairly simple. You have 2 LED lights when you plug the battery in and have it with a cable. If it's red, that means it's charging. If it's yellow, that means it's like yellow or green. The battery is full and you can basically be ready to use it. So that's on the charger. If you're buying original OEM, you don't have a charger, so if you need a charger, this is the way to go. Now, the real difference is going to be when it comes to the battery quality and the battery life. Now, when it comes to third-party batteries, non-OEM batteries, Sometimes there will be a difference in battery life. So with the Sonys, the new OEM Sony batteries had higher capacities than the non-OEM third-party brand batteries. When it comes to the Lumix, this Lumix, so the camera is 5 months old, this battery has a capacity of, I just saw it, where was it? Oh, it's on the front, 2200 milliamp hours, versus the Wasabi Power battery has a capacity of 2250 milliamp hours, so slightly bigger capacity. And generally, when I've been using both of these batteries in the camera, I haven't noticed any difference between the original OEM and the Wasabi Power battery. So that's definitely a big plus, because on some of the other cameras, you can generally notice the original OEM battery is going to last longer than the third party. But when it comes to these, they did do it right, and this battery is actually very nicely done. The building components and the quality looks very, very similar. Very good quality batteries in between. The only difference I would say is that the Panasonic battery has this light texturing that matches the camera, versus the Wasabi battery is going to be more smooth. I did purchase 2 of these kits, and in full disclosure, I did have an issue with the charger on one of the Wasabi kits, but Wasabi is a very big brand here on Amazon. I reached out to them and I sent them a picture of the charger, and they immediately sent me a new one and also sent me a brand new charger as well. So that was definitely a new charger and 2 extra batteries, so it was definitely very awesome of them. So if you already have a charger, it's going to be almost like a toss-up between which one you should get. And if you're the type of person that's like, hey, I only need to have OEM batteries, or you're trying to sell your camera and trying to get more money, then this can potentially be working for you. But if you're a professional, you just want to get extra batteries, definitely I have no qualms about recommending getting a kit such as this, because one of these kits costs almost as much, so 2 batteries and a charger will cost you about the same as just one original OEM battery. And that's why this is labeled up to number 7, we have 6 extra batteries of these Wasabi Powers. So that is the difference between the original OEM battery and the non-OEM battery by Wasabi Power for the Panasonic LUMIX BLK22.